Good morning, Pawleys Island peeps. Today is December 15th, Tuesday. Barber Shop Talk Tuesday with Mr. Ben Fetter. And I'm Dave Clayton. And it's time for your Pawleys Island sunrise and surf report. Good morning, good morning. There's a little sunrise going on over there behind us. But we're going to pull up under here because it's 22-mile-an-hour wind this morning. Hope everybody's doing great. We're going to have barbershop talk for a minute. 47 degrees out here. Ben, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah, man. So, welcome to the, what is this? Welcome to the Sunrise and Surf Report.
Sunrise Surf Report.
Yeah, man. So, everybody's joining us. Good morning, Lisa Cook. Born, how are you? We appreciate everybody joining us. This is a little different this morning because we have 22-mile-an-hour winds. But I got to tell you, Ben is truly, I consider you a friend.
Absolutely.
And I'm so grateful you agreed to join us.
Thanks for having me.
This morning. He's a local barber. He's been here 13 years, actually cutting hair here in Pawleys, and now he's finally got his own place called Benny's. So just want to thank you so much for being a part of this. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I was born and raised in Western Pennsylvania. Moved down here 2004. Went to work for my brother doing marine construction for a few years. Got back into the barber business back in 07.
We're gonna back up
just a little bit
so
here.
people can see you. There you go.
So cut hair in Pawleys Island for the last 13 years, and finally decided to go out on my own and create a kind of a classic old school upscale barbershop. And everybody come on down and see it. I hope you enjoy it. I think you will.
It's great, man. Good morning, Holly. Happy haircut at Benny's Barbershop Day.
Hey, Holly.
I love that. I love
Tell
that.
Chris to come and see me.
Yes. Let's take a look at this sunrise. It's just beautiful. Let's turn this thing around. So it's 22-mile-an-hour wind right now. Ben, what's the air temperature out here?
Is it 47 degrees?
You got it. And the waves are ferocious.
No swimmers in sight.
No. It's just beautiful. I'm gonna turn this thing around again. Let's see. Let's go the other way so they can see the ocean. There you go. So Ben, you are just about the. Good morning, Bill Drake. Nice haircut you got. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm getting ready to get one. We're gonna go right after this. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna run to the house, get my mask, and we're gonna still stay live, and then we're gonna go get a haircut. I can't wait for that. So one of the things I've always noticed about you, Ben, is that you have one of the most amazing repeat business. I mean, it's a constant repeat business for you. I mean, there are people in line to get haircuts. What's that about? What is your secret there?
I mean, I look at it more as like a friendship than just a barber client relationship. I consider most of my clients to be friends. I treat them right. I take my time, attention to detail, and just give them a good experience.
So you mentioned to me on Sunday something when we were talking that you always try to do with every single client. You remember what you said?
Their name.
Yes.
I think that's important. People love hearing their own name. It means something to them that you remember them. And I've got a lot of great customers that have carried me through some rough times over the years, and we've become friends, and that's served me well, and hopefully it served them well too.
So you mentioned some rough times over the years. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, 2 years ago during Hurricane Florence, I live out in Conway, so my house flooded. And the way this community pulled together for me and helped me out during that time, is something that I'll never forget. I think it changed me as a person. I had guys coming out before the flood, on their day off Saturday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, bringing me sandbags, trying to help me do whatever we could do to save the house. But, unfortunately we did get flooded, and community rallied around me and really helped out, donated money, donated time, donated resources, and we got that thing put back together. We've been back in there now for about a year and a half, and I couldn't be happier with the way that the house turned out. But it really touched me, and it's something that I'll never forget.
So have you fully recovered from that?
Fully recovered.
That's great.
We're in there now, like I say, about 18, 19 months, and that house is prettier now than it was the day I bought it. So I couldn't be happier.
That's great. So one of the ways that you connect with your clients, and Holly just reminded me in the comments, is that you know a lot about sports, right?
I'm a sports fanatic, yeah.
So tell us a little bit how you connect with your clients through that. Do you ask them about sports, like what's their team, or what does that look like?
Well, usually a lot of people from around here aren't necessarily from here. They've migrated here from other areas, and you can usually tell. So I start off, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? They tell me, and I said, oh, you a such and such fan, and then we just kind of take it from there. We razz each other, we give each other a hard time. But I mean, that's what friends do. I mean, if you're not giving your buddy a hard time, are you really friends?
That's true. So you joke with them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's tell us about your teams. Do you have some favorite teams?
Like I said, I was born and raised outside of Pittsburgh, so everything black and gold. I'm Steeler, Pirates, Penguins, Pitt, Penn State. I've taken on rooting for the Gamecocks and Clemson down here too. I know a lot of people don't think that you can root for both, but I root for both. Coastal Carolina, man, what an unbelievable season they're having. That's awesome.
Isn't that exciting?
I live 10 minutes from the stadium, so we pull for Coastal. My younger brother went to school there, so real proud of the Chanticleers this year.
So a lot of the guys I work with, that's actually how I met you.
Right.
So Brent and
Eddie, Daniel.
Yeah, so they were coming to the dealership with these great haircuts, right? And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it's kind of like a fade, I guess they're getting. Is that what the deal?
Yeah, taper, fade, however you want to put it, yeah.
So, but that wasn't what really brought me to you. What brought me to you is when they said, and also the big boss, the vice president of sales, Josh Bauer, gets haircuts from you. So when they said to me, you've got to get a haircut from Ben because he's just a great guy. I mean, that was pretty cool. So they were referring. So this is sales 101, right? Referrals are so important in sales. When other people become your raving fans and they're telling people about you, you're doing something right. And I want this morning to really be focused as much as we can on what is your secret formula for this. Tell us.
Like I mentioned earlier, I think it's just attention to detail. I try to be thorough. I'm very meticulous. My wife would say that I'm OCD, almost to a fault, but I think that comes in handy, in my profession. I pay attention to detail. I take my time, and I just try to give everybody what I would want. I want a good, thorough, clean, sharp haircut.
So you're good at what you do. That's one. You also said that you like to talk about their family. You remember their names. What else? Tell me more of the secret recipe. There's got to be more to it here.
I think it's more just about relationships. I mean, I build relationships, with my customers. I take an interest in what they do for a living. I take an interest in their kids. Their kids are playing sports, so I root for their kids. To me, it's more family and friendship than just, like I said, a relationship through work. I really truly enjoy talking to all my different customers every day. To me, I have 25 to 30 different 15-minute conversations every day, and just catching up with old friends.
So it's 15 minutes a haircut about? Is that what the average is?
I'd say about 15, 20 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
For a good, thorough haircut with a hot neck shave at the end, and blow it out, get all loose hairs off you in case you got to go back to work so you're not itching all day.
So I've been at the barber shop, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
But one of the things that amazes me is that there is a line. So you have a team, right? You have two other. You have Jordan.
Yeah, I've got Jordan Haas player, and I've got Fran Bryant with me. two excellent barbers, with a good book. They've got their own clientele. They do a great job, and they're like me. They're very personable. They take an interest in their clients as well. So I feel really good about my crew.
That's great. So this line that I was getting ready to talk about, I mean, there are people, I've seen it 10 people deep.
It gets out of control sometimes.
It does. So they are waiting on you, and during that time, you mentioned something on Saturday again about the meticulousness of your haircuts and all that, but also that you love the one you're with, and that you focus on the one you're with. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think that is real important.
Well, one of my favorite compliments that I've gotten over the years is that no matter how many people that I've got waiting on me, I don't rush through a haircut. I take my time with each customer, and I'm glad that other people realize that, because some people will be sitting there waiting, come on, let's go. But I'm not gonna shortcut a haircut. I'm not gonna shortcut you. I'm gonna give you what you deserve and what you've come to expect from being my customer, for the last, 13 years or so.
That's great. So you take your time with each person, and you make sure that you don't.
I'm not going to cut corners. So,
Not
you're going to get what you always get. Consistency, I think, is the key. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Sometimes you go somewhere and get a good cut, and then you go back and it's not so good the next time. You go back again somewhere, it's terrible. So I try to stay consistent.
You ever had anybody with a bunch of hair coming out of the ear, and you're like, why didn't this person's wife tell them?
That's funny. Most of the time when I start getting in people's ears and cleaning up the hair, they said, "Oh, my wife thanks you," and I said, "I know she does. That's why I do it."
So you trim beards too?
Trim beards. We give hot face shaves. Every man's haircut comes with hot lather, neck shave. Like I say, we're an old school barbershop, so you're gonna get. We're a full service barbershop.
And you have cut women's hair before too.
I have. I specialize in men's hair. I'm a barber, but if you're a woman that's got short hair and you're just getting a cut, we're not doing any chemical work or any. We don't do colors or perms over there. We're just.
Darn.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dave. Looks good on you though, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
But yeah, we do women's hair. Fran's really good with women's hair. Jordan does some women's hair as well. I'm primarily a barber though. That's my forte.
That's great. I tell you what, if you haven't had a haircut from Ben, men, you need to do it. It is it really is an experience. It's more than just going to a barbershop, and I tell you, the new place is beautiful. I cannot wait for you to see it.
I can't either. It turned out really, really nice. I couldn't be happier with it.
So Kent's saying well done. Kent has a lot to do with what your barbershop looks like. You're not going to believe it. It is.
I couldn't have done this without Kent. Kent and Jamie, Kent Rogerson, Jamie Lambert, Ricky Morris. There's a lot of people to thank. Tina from Island Signs. My buddy Mike Allman from Accenture Insurance. He did my vinyl on my windows. There's so many people to thank, but especially my wife. My wife, she did a lot of the work, a lot of the phone calls, a lot of the paperwork and all that, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. And just extremely grateful for everybody. There's a lot of people that had a hand in this, and that's not lost on me.
That's great. So how long have you been married?
Oh God, we got together. We actually met on a cruise. We met on a cruise 17 years ago.
And how many children?
Got 3 kids.
Okay. Tell us.
Tyler, Hallie, and Cody. Tyler is 11 and in the 3rd grade. No, I'm sorry. He's 11. He's in the 6th grade. He's a little smarter than him. Hallie's in the 3rd grade, and then Cody, my youngest, he's in 1st grade.
That's great. Family man. You drive from Conway to Pawleys because you love the Pawleys people, and you've developed this funnel of people. Literally there are people waiting for haircuts every time you come. It's wonderful how you've done this, and you really. What's neat is you've gone. Tell us a little bit about the excitement of having your own place now. You're living the American dream. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's something that I've always wanted to do. Like when you get into the business, eventually you want to do it for yourself and be your own boss and have your own thing and do things your way. I've worked for some great barbershop owners over the years. Maria with Maria's Clip Joint, fellow that I started out with and apprenticed me back up in Pittsburgh, God rest his soul, Mickey Medved. I mean, I learned everything from them. So now I'm just kind of putting it to work and doing my own thing, and I'm excited about it.
And it's what we were talking before we went live, and we talked about something that has been really your life verse, and we talked about how that really your clients are your boss now. They've always been.
Right.
But not only do you have more control over the atmosphere in the place and all the things that you have more control over, and that's exciting, but you really are business as usual because your clients are your boss, and that's powerful.
Yeah. I've got good bosses. I love my bosses. So
that's great.
I just made a place that somewhere where I would want to go and hang out. Like if you're gonna wait, and I do have a wait sometimes. If you're gonna wait, you want to be comfortable. I mean, we've got free drinks in the fridge for you to help yourself too. We've got some TVs in there. We've got comfortable waiting chairs. We've got a beautiful environment to. We've got outside seating. Kent made some beautiful, custom-made benches to sit outside underneath the porch.
They are cool.
And we've got some rocking chairs out there. I mean, it's a comfortable environment to, if you do have to wait.
I tell you, the cypress wood, is that what that is? That
on the reception
on the reception
black
desk?
cypress that he pulled out of the Petey River himself. It's impressive.
It really is cool. You need to see that, y'all.
These guys are masters at their craft.
Low country flooring. You're right there. So you've got these businesses around you, and you've kind of worked as a team.
Yeah.
Which has been really cool. So tell us a little bit about that.
So Kent's been a customer of mine for years, as has Jamie at Low Country Flooring. When they came to me and made me this offer, man, it was something that I couldn't pass up. And we started working on this back in May, and it's taken a long time, but it's worth the wait. And then shortly after we agreed to do this, we find out that the South End Bistro was coming to town, and I've gotten to know Chris and Taylor, and they're just awesome people. And so over the weekend we had a little Toys for Neighbors drive over there. Painted Man was there. We had that was a great turnout. I mean, that was really something cool. I mean, you wait until you see it next year and the year after. It's only going to get bigger. Courtney, one of Kent's workers, he's the one that he was kind of the brainchild behind all that, man. And he was just, he knocked it out of the park. It was a great event.
Did you see what Nancy just wrote?
I did not.
She said, "Shave Dave's face," and that got a lot of likes. That got a lot of likes.
Man.
Too many likes.
Looks good on you.
Thanks, man. Oh gosh.
When you got faces like ours, you want to cover as much of it as possible.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. So tell us. It's time for the good news. So I'm gonna turn this thing around real quick, and you're gonna have to scream it, I think.
Okay.
Because this microphone is faced to rear. Let's see here. I'm going to try to turn this thing around so everybody can see the sunrise better. Wow, it's beautiful, y'all. You ready? Let's turn this around. So my mind is not working so well. There you go. So I'm going to have you flick this over. I'm going to try it right here. Front. There you go. So let's walk this way and have you share the good news today.
So when you told me to come up with a verse, the one that stands out to me the most is Matthew 7:12. Do unto others as you'd have them do to you. I think that's with everything that's going on in the world, political unrest and the pandemic and everything, I think that's a great rule to live by. If you just treat others the way that you want to be treated, you really don't need any other rules.
And it's obvious in your life, this is really what you teach your children.
Absolutely.
And the way you live. How beautiful is this, man?
It's unbelievable.
So when's the last time you saw the sunrise out here?
I don't really often get up for the sun. I've seen a couple at the tail end of my night.
Yeah, sunset.
But not so much at the beginning of my day. But this is beautiful. It's been a while.
So it's extreme high tide today, so we need to be careful. We have this northeast wind. If you come on the island anywhere around 8 o'clock, you need to be careful this morning. What time do you have?
7:17.
All right. So the sun is behind the clouds, right over there. So you mentioned political unrest and things. How do you handle people that come in that have been watching news all day? I mean, you're dealing with a lot of retired people that are watching the news, or they're caught up in all the political unrest. How do you handle that?
Well, two things that are very. I try to steer clear of any political talk. Honestly, I try to keep it light. I try to keep it, just more fun. But I mean, if they want to talk about it, get it off their chest or whatever, I'll listen. Even if I don't agree with them, I'll listen, and I'll just, I won't engage them. I'm not going to sit there and debate with them or anything like that. But I just let them get it off their chest, man. Sometimes it just feels good for people to get things off their chest, and I let them do that.
That's great. You feel like cutting my hair?
Yeah, man. You ready?
I'm ready, man.
All right, buddy.
All right. So I'm going to leave it up to you to do. I tell you what, the fade thing you've been doing,
yeah.
you called it what? What did you call it?
Maybe a taper or a fade.
A taper, yeah. I'm going to let you do it.
All right, man.
Whatever.
Whatever I think looks best on you.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect. Do people still bring like pictures of other people and say, make me look like that?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
What's the most used picture? Whose hair is the most?
God. Well, for years there, it was Justin Bieber. Everybody had the longer hair, and it was always either Justin Bieber, or I was seeing pictures of Zac Efron, or guys that I didn't even really know. They just show me a picture, and I try to make them look like them as much as I can.
Yeah. That's funny, man. So they say, make me look like this guy? Is that what they do?
Not necessarily make me look like this guy, but this is how I want my hair.
Yeah, I gotcha. I just want to look like Rob. Beach haircut, he says. Beach. I like Rob's hair. Or Sugar. Do you ever do, so you do beards, you do ear hair.
Yep.
Do you do nose hair?
If it's bad enough, yeah. If I can see it, I'm going to get it. There's not too many people who say, I was letting that grow out,
Oh, that's funny.
Don't worry. We sanitize and everything afterwards. Don't worry.
Yeah. I imagine. And you wear masks in there mostly?
Yeah, you have to wear it right now with everything going on. We want all our customers to be in masks. If we're obviously that's impossible if we're going to trim your beard, but we we need to be safe right now. So we have masks on, and we ask that you wear them in the shop too. If you're sitting outside on the porch, waiting, you don't need to wear a mask, but when you're inside the shop, we want you to have a mask on.
So what time do you normally get to work?
I've been getting there about 7. We don't open till 8, so I like to get in there, get set up, and just wait for them to start rolling in.
And it's not, you do no appointments, correct?
Not yet. That's something that we're talking about, something that we may visit here in the future. But as of right now, just getting up and rolling, we wanted to just take care of walk-ins for now.
So one more question about the haircut.
Okay.
How often, I know everybody's hair grows at different speeds, but how often should I get a haircut?
Every week.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I believed you. I'm so gullible.
I shouldn't have said. No, usually, on average, it's about every 4 weeks or so, about once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go grab my mask and then I'll meet you there.
I'll see you over there, brother.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we learned a lot of valuable things about taking care of customers. And I'll tell you, one of the coolest things about Ben, I think you can learn anything you need for sales from a barber like Ben. I tell you what, the way he takes care of his customers, and the way he builds relationships with his customers, it's just phenomenal. So I'm not going to talk for a little bit, and I'm going to try to stay live as I go get my mask, because I really want you to see what it's like to go to this new place. So I'm going to put the phone down somewhere that's safe. I think I'm going to put it here, and we're going to talk a little bit about customers. I think I'm going to put it right here. We're going to talk a little bit about customers and taking care of them and what we learned from Ben this morning, because I think it's valuable. Let's see. I guess this is the safest place. I guess I'm going to take off this microphone, because, oh my goodness, this is not safe. So I got to find a safe place for this. Let's see. I think I'm going to unplug this microphone because we don't need it. And that will make it easier to stuff this phone right here. All right. There you go. All right. Dashboard diaries. Learning what we learned from Ben this morning is valuable. I love that his personal verse is treating others the way you want to be treated. I love that. Ben lives this out every day in his job as a barber. "20-minute sessions. He builds relationships, remembers their names, asks them about their life, and listens. And when they're having a bad day and they're talking about things that are divisive, sometimes he just lets them talk. I'm gonna try not to hit this tree, and just get it off their chest, he says. He doesn't fight them. So I'm backing into that little noise. It means I'm close to hitting something. All right. So as a car salesman, I need to take notes from what he talked about this morning, because this is a process. What he's doing is totally organic, totally comes natural. It's a gift. And for me as a car salesman, this is critical. This is really important to, I think, do exactly what my favorite barber does. And that is to build relationships with people, be genuine, not be afraid to talk about difficult things that people are going through, and to be there for them as a friend. How touching was that when he talked about his house flooding and the community here in Pawleys, people having time off and going over there and helping him. So cool. So for those of us, how many of you are in a sales job and the first thing you say when somebody comes up is, how can I help you? Or what can I do for you? Or something like that. How many of us do that, make that mistake? Instead of saying, how are you today? How's your family? Tell me about Jim, your son, how's he doing? You know, it's really important, I think, to not skip that when you're building a relationship. So enough talk, but I just am reminded how important that is. So I maybe should sign off and then sign back on, because I don't want to just keep talking your ears off. So if I get down to where there's like 10 people on here or less, I'm gonna do that. So luckily we live right by the barber shop, so it's not a long way away. I'm gonna run in and get my mask. So something we didn't talk that I know about Ben is that he actually is he used to do construction with his brother, and he was doing that, and you know, it was hard labor, and then he realized that he was pretty good at this thing, this when he had a really good teacher who taught him about this. So it's pretty interesting that, you know, he actually was like in construction. So normally the Sunrise and Surf Report is not this long, but today's spotlight business, being Benny's Barbershop, he told me that the reason he named it Benny's instead of Ben's is because that's what his family and friends call him, his closest people in his life. And he had a conversation with his son and his wife, and they were talking about the name when they were coming up with the name, and that's why he named it Benny's. Sorry about that, y'all. We're still here, I promise. So as you can see, someone like me, I'm a raving fan of Ben's. I am a raving fan because I think he's just incredibly talented, and the skills he uses, the skills and the personality and the way he does business can be transformed into any business. So Ben has made me a better car salesman. right, I'm almost home. All right, I'm gonna turn this thing around so you can see Santa on the roof while I go grab this mask. So Santa's up there on the roof. There you go. There you go. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So Nancy said something about shaving the beard. I wonder if I should shave the beard. Not to be so self-centered here, but I'm actually considering it. So we'll see. I think I'm just gonna have him trim the beard, you know, down to here more or something. I don't know. So at some point, I think you're live. Good morning, Victor. Ask Lisa, he says. That's a good point. That is a very good point. I think she says keep it. But at some point, a live video can only be so long, and then Facebook cuts you off, I think. So if that happens, we might come back live under Ben's phone. If we get cut off, then that's what we'll do. We'll go live under Ben's name. So has anybody gotten a speeding ticket here? We're on the way to Ben's place right now. So we just passed Coastal Chevrolet. We're passing Ace Hardware. Pawleys Plantation on the left. And this is a neat place. Okay. Hagley Center. So we live in Hagley, so this is kind of our place. All right, so we're gonna park over here. just in case he gets another client or something. We need to give him front row seating here. All right, let's try it. I gotta bring some money. All right, I got some money. We're not gonna use our microphone. We're just gonna go like this. iPhone has a pretty good microphone the way it is. Good morning, Carla. There was a little different today. I just want to shout out to Carla because she is wonderful. What she does in our group is really special. Not just because of our shirts, our Pawleys Island Peep shirts that she created, but also the way she shares scripture on pictures is beautiful. But also when we have a special guest like Ben, she follows. Oh, I got to get my mask. The whole reason I got my, hey guys, how's it going? She's awesome. She follows up with the people afterwards and thanks them for being part of the group and the community, and she does follow up with them. Like, it's just really cool. So if you don't know Carla from Virginia, you need to. Carla Hayes. And her husband, Steve, he's wonderful. So I did have a mask. I'm looking for my mask. I bet it's in my pocket. No, that's my fuzzy ball. This was for the microphone. All right. Found it. It's in my pocket. Okay. She does share lots of love, Holly. All right, we're going to turn this around. So we're right here at Low Country Flooring. Shout out to Kent. He took us on a tour of his place, and it's just incredible on Sunday. Kent's never had a sip of alcohol his whole entire life. Isn't that cool? Not one sip of alcohol. I like that guy. Okay, I'm gonna flip this thing around real quick and put on my mask. All right. Time for a haircut, y'all. All right. So every good barbershop has to have that.
The International Barber Pole.
I love it. Hey, Fran.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. How are you?
Great, buddy. How are you?
I'm great. You don't know this, but you cut my dad's hair for years and years at Maria's.
Okay.
You were my dad's favorite barber.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, man. How are you? How are you doing?
We're doing great. Thank you very
So
much.
glad. So glad. How do you like your new place?
We absolutely love it.
That's super. Are you a huge sports fan as well?
Not the degree Ben is, no.
Okay. So everybody, this is Jordan. This is another part of the team here. Hey, tell us a little about you, Jordan.
Well, I'm from Georgetown. I'm super excited to be working here with Ben and Fran. They're pretty awesome. Love what I do.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for allowing us to come in here and meet everybody so bright and early. So tell me what to do, Ben.
You're throwing weights, buddy.
Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we should,
I can hold it.
could you? That'd be great.
Jordan can hold it, yeah.
That'd be awesome. However you want to do it, that's cool. And if you want to share,
Jordan will fill in.
yeah, you can talk.
Go ahead and get your
We'll provide colorful commentary.
That's great. That's perfect, right? Okay. All right.
All right, well, man.
The first thing we do is we check the coat of our clients here at our custom-made cloak center.
So you have a restroom over there?
Restroom, we got a fridge with complimentary drinks in there.
Oh wait, you gotta take the money shot.
Customers to help themselves to a drink.
That's
Is
great.
that how Hannah does it?
Yes. Show them that counter. That's the. Tell people about that counter, Randy. That's the black.
Oh, it's custom made for us by Live Country Flooring with Kent Rogerson and his partner Jamie, right? And the wood was taken out of the PD River.
Black cypress.
Black cypress, exactly. So,
Okay, you ready?
It's
I'm
all
ready.
the time.
Have you ever been filmed before?
Not with not with consent.
Oh.
So what's the consensus? Are people wanting you to leave your beard, or we're not taking the beard?
No, Lisa. The only one that matters is Lisa. And Lisa said just trim it.
And like we said on Sunday, you still have it, so she must like it.
Yes.
So it was a little chilly on the beach this morning.
It was chilly. 47 degrees.
Windy. That'll wake you up.
Yeah, the coffee was so good. So did Kent's brother do these counters?
Yes, he did. Wally Rogerson took care of the counters. Or he did, Wally did the cabinets. Thompson Son and Marvel did the cabinets.
Okay.
Baker Glass did the mirrors. Down in Georgetown. Chris, he was awesome. Tina Wise from Island Signs did our signs for us. I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm trying to think of anybody else here. Let's see, Mike Dolman, he did my vinyl. He's going to put an ATM in here. So people don't have to leave and run to an ATM because we only accept cash or checks right now. That's probably going to remain the same.
You guys talk about hours and pricing this morning.
We did. You know, our hours here are Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 5. Saturday, we're open from 8 to 2. Now, our holiday hours, we will open on Monday next week during Christmas week. We'll be open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 8 to 5. Thursday, we'll be here from about 8 to 1 or 2. I guess the flow of business will probably dictate how long we stay open. And then that'll be the same schedule we use for New Year's week as well. We'll open on Monday just to kind of get people cleaned up. If they got any help, New Year's Eve plans or anything like that.
So, one thing you mentioned to me on Sunday was that you want to make sure that no matter what time somebody comes in, they never feel like you're looking at your clock.
Nope. Yep.
That is like a huge deal to you. I know, talk a little bit about that, because that is a big part. In the car business, that's important too.
Well,
Because you tell people you're open till a certain time, they come in 5 minutes before you close, you should not be looking at your watch saying,
they were here before we closed. Listen, I mean,
yeah.
They work too, and it's hard for some people to get here. That's why we try to accommodate everybody here,
Yeah.
I mean, I must stay until the last one's done.
I've felt that before when I've walked into a place, knowing they're open until 7, and I show up at 6:50, I feel a little bit uncomfortable walking into the place anyway. But when they look at their watch or when they get, I felt a little bit, and I feel bad about it, but
Sure.
But when you actually are warm and you say, hey, come on in, I'm glad you're here, that's huge.
Exactly. You want them to feel welcome no matter what. Like I say, they may have just gone out to work. They may have to work Saturday. We're open on Saturdays you know, to kind of cater to the working man. But you know, sometimes they're working on Saturdays too. So, I mean,
Can everybody hear us?
Think so.
Okay. I know it's hard.
see that pretty face here.
Yep, everybody's saying they can hear.
What was that?
Everybody's saying they can hear fine.
Good.
Show them those floors, Jordan. Show them that low, that beautiful
Low country flooring.
Some old growth white oak.
And our beautiful retro Barber chairs.
And our cool chairs.
They're very comfortable, I'll tell you that.
They look good, you feel good. That's how we want you to feel after you get a haircut too, man. Look good, feel good.
Getting a haircut's like when you wash your car, it just feels like it drives better.
Exactly right.
Isn't that true?
Looks like it runs a little bit better, a little smoother.
Yeah, I stand up a little taller with a good haircut.
That's exactly right, man. Confidence goes up a little bit. At least it's not going to be able to keep her hands off you.
Mazel tov.
That'll get you here every week, right there?
There you go.
You were asking how often you should get a haircut.
Dave, how long have you been doing the sunrise report?
We started on June 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, we started June 10th and we just go back every day. And it's really, it's really amazing because there's never been a sunrise that's the same. You know, every one is different.
Did you see some dolphins out there yesterday, or was that the other day?
It was a couple days ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
What a way to start the day.
It is neat, man.
Kind of sets the tone.
Yeah. And it's amazing how the sunrise changes, you know, by a minute or so every day. So right now you don't have to get up that early. You know, it's at 7:12. Today is 7:12. Because everyone always asks, how do you get up so early? How do you get it? Right now it's not that bad, but certain times it's, you know, it's really early. But it's cyclical, you know, so it's pretty neat. And the ocean changes, man. I can't get over the way the ocean changes.
It was churned up today, wasn't it?
It was. The one thing that I've really learned is the wind direction, and the wind has so much to do with how it feels out there and just how you experience the sunrise. The wind. It's crazy.
It comes on quick, too, man.
Mm-hmm. My grandfather was a real fisherman. I mean, just a real incredible fisherman. And he'd always pay attention to like the moon phase and the wind direction and all this stuff. And he'd know before you went out if you were going to catch anything or not. He'd know 100% what was, and he was always right. And I remember just being, before we'd go out, I'd say, why can't you be more positive? Because he was always saying, well, the wind's out of this direction, so we're not going to have a nibble. I'd be like, what? How do you know this? It's the same bait. He was always right. The wind plays a huge part in it. So like a couple times a year, he'd say, the wind is perfect, we're going to kill it. And we'd go out and one after the other. And I'd always look forward to that. Yeah.
Now the beard.
Okay.
Whatever
you do, just trim it. Yeah, whatever you do.
Pretty good with the lamp, just kind of clean her up.
Sure.
I'm going to take this off in just a second. You just need to hold your breath for the
Okay.
next 5 minutes.
Okay. No problem.
5 minutes.
I think that was like 3 minutes. What prompted it? Like what made you start growing in the birthday?
I went to Guatemala.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I didn't shave when I was in Guatemala.
Who did you go to Guatemala with?
It was
The mission?
our church, mission trip from Pawleys Island Community Church.
Don go?
Don didn't go, but we went with the youth group.
It was awesome.
Ben, I love the masking Christmas ornaments getting picked out.
It's all the misses right there.
The metallic. You gotta get a close up of this.
That's all compliments of Kim Fetter.
This is metallic and it's
Nice.
there's one up there too.
That's cool.
So all I've done is get scissors, and I just look for one that's sticking out, and then I just trim it just individually. Is that not the way you do it?
My grandpa used to say, there's 1,000 different ways to skin a cat, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's working. It looks good, man. My dad used to have, he passed away when I was young, but looking back through the pictures, he had seasonal facial hair. We grew up in western Pennsylvania, so in the wintertime he'd have a full-on beard. All you could see was his lips. And then you could tell it was spring because he'd cut it back to a mustache, and then in the summer he'd be clean shaven. Looked like 3 different people almost. That's what's great about being a guy, man. You can change it up. Hey, look, buddy, you did a pretty good job. You took pretty good care of that thing. That's good. You looking for anything part-time?
Who cut your hair, Ben?
The last time I got a cut, Jordan did. Did a good job. Fran does it, Jordan does it, whoever. Jordan did a real good job. I was pleased with it.
Yeah, Ben's haircut was
Thank
Jordan's
you.
audition.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
He came down and said, all right, got it. Her reputation preceded her. I always heard that she was really good. So I'm excited to bring her aboard. She's doing really good.
Well, I'm excited to be here.
This is everybody's favorite part coming up here, man. Hot neck shave.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So what's it? The hot neck shave?
Some hot lather,
Okay.
straight razor.
People let them fall asleep.
I've got people all the time. Actually, Jamie from Low Country Flooring. Every time he gets in that chair, usually about 5 minutes in, he says, "Man, I can go to sleep." I've had him gnaw it off on me too. Head starts, going down. And that's a compliment. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This
And
is,
you're not beating the heck out of him while you're giving him a haircut.
These are old school barbering techniques that just are a bit in short supply these days, you know? But it's something we enjoy doing, and we think it's part of the real barbershop experience.
I mean, it really finishes off the haircut. You know what I mean? It's,
That's great.
Fran, do you remember my dad? His name was Buck. Yeah, you shared some story with him when you cut his hair a long, long time ago that he just thought the world of you.
Oh, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, you shared something personal,
Yeah.
and he would come to you about, and he loved the fact that you did shave the neck too.
Right.
Because he had Parkinson's, and so he wasn't real good at shaving himself, and so you saw like loose hairs, and you took care of him,
Yes.
That's
thank
pretty
you.
cool, yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier, man. The attention to detail. You see something that needs done, do it.
Good morning.
Okay. Want to just sign like you normally do over here? Good to see you.
How are ya?
It's great.
You're starting rolling now, but
Perfect.
We'll be right with you. We're just doing a quick morning report here.
You might throw my mask on me.
sure, man. You can do it too.
This is live streaming right now on the internet.
Hey, Charlie. Hey man, how are you, sir? I'm good.
Well, Dave, you clean up real nice. That ought to keep the cold out of your stocking.
Yeah. Jordan, do you see the finish button on there? It says finish. And in just a second,
I do.
we're going to sign out.
Okay.
Before we do, Ben, do you have anything you want to say on the way out?
Come on down and see us. I really enjoyed this morning. Dave, thanks for having me.
Yes. Fran, Jordan, thank y'all so much for letting me come in today.
Of course.
And holding the camera. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks for doing it, Dave. We appreciate
Love
you,
what you do,
man.
man.
I love you guys.
All right, signing
Thank you
off.
so much.